Well, NXT UK continues with more on the number one contendership for the NXT UK Heritage Cup. Right now, we just entered day one of the semifinals. Also, the NXT UK tag team titles are on the line with champions Pretty Deadly taking on the Coffee Brothers of Gallus. Also, we got Impact Wrestling, which is on their go home show before this Saturday's Victory Road, but also going to review a past event from early this month, Horror Slam versus GCW. So, let's get started with another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J. Right here. So, let's begin with NXT UK with right now with the opening bout for the semifinals of the NXT UK Heritage Cup tournament. We have Noam Dar and Kenny Williams. Now, these competitors, I have to say, this one is one of those interesting matches I have ever witnessed. Reason I say this, you got Noam Dar, who is determined to prove how supernova he is, and Kenny Williams, who has found himself a brand new look and a brand new attitude, would do anything possible to win. However, the real question is, which one of did it will make the final defeat. However, the first two rounds ended up in zero, but later it was in the third round it was Kenny Williams that pulled off the victory. Fourth round it was Noam Dar, but however, the fifth round was the crucial one. It would determine who if Kenny or Noam Dar were able to pick up the victory. However, I don't know if Noam Dar was well aware of this or he just knew he needed help. Shaw Samuels showed up and got in the way. Ref did not see him and completely blindsided Kenny. Now, Kenny may have been a cockroach that needed to be squashed, but however, he got outsmarted this time. Even though Noam Dar tried to outsmart him, but this time he did. Now, as you know, in ever since we saw one of the most incredible matches in NXT UK and of course in NXT history, Ilya Dragunov versus Walter, another classic match between those two. However, I think right now it just tells us Ilya Dragunov has finally fulfilled his dream to become a champion, but the real question remains, who will be the lucky competitor to issue that challenge or to accept it? We had three so far: Nathan Frazier, Rampage Brown, and of course, A-Kid. Now, these guys are great. They all have a unique style, but however, only one will be the one to take a first crack at Ilya Dragunov. So Sid Scala decided to set up for a following week a number one contendership between all three men who will be the ones to challenge Ilya Dragunov for the NXT UK title. And this is going to be a very good one to watch. Excuse me. Now, Mustache Mountain, we all know these guys, they are the founding fathers of NXT UK. As you know, Tyler Bate, he is paying attention to what's going on for the Heritage Cup. But he also said he's paying attention to what's going on in the NXT UK title. But even though Trent also said they're paying attention to what's going on in the NXT UK tag team titles. So basically, Mustache Mountain has many options how to go with this, and I have to say it plays out pretty well on that. So we'll see what they're gonna go down. Now, our next match, we have Stevie Turner challenging, facing off against Amelia McKenzie. Now, Stevie Turner continues wants to have another crack of Mako Satomura. Now, as you all recall, she lost to her, Amelia McKenzie, who is a protege of Mako Satomura, who trained under her, is willing to put herself to the test against anybody that will come through her to challenge Mako. So it's more like she's the one thing that's standing in the way of them and to get to the title. So basically, Stevie Turner had a challenger, and it was a pretty good match. And I was expecting Amelia would become the winner because she is tough. If you guys ever seen clips of her, she used to hang out with Pete Dunne a long time ago, and all of that. But she did an amazing job pulling up a great victory. However, Stevie Turner, her life just went downhill. She was viciously attacked by Blair Davenport, who was supposed to be suspended. Now it's still unclear what's gonna happen. She's demanding to be reinstated. So Sid Scala and Johnny Saint have to figure out what they can do to make her peace. Now, if I was a betting man, I know for a fact that she probably would want a shot of the NXT UK Women's Championship. She will probably somehow cut in front of the line. That's what I think is going to happen. But we'll see where they're going to go on that. Now, our main event is for the NXT UK Tag Team titles. We have Gallus, Joe, and Mark Coffey. Now, these two brothers, I don't know if they ever teamed up together, but this combination is different. Pretty Deadly defeated Gallus, but this time it's with Mark Coffey and Joe. The previous time, last time, it was Mark Coffey with Wolfgang, but Wolfgang is currently now involved in the semifinals for the Heritage Cup. So this is going to be an interesting match. It was great. I enjoyed it. However, somehow Pretty Deadly were able to overcome every obstacle, every power that Gallus did, and they retained the champions. But the real question remained, who can be the lucky up competitors that can be thrown Pretty Deadly? All we gotta do is wait and see until the right challengers appeared right before us. So I think that's pretty much it. So let's keep moving on with Impact Wrestling. Alrighty, so this is the go home show before we get to Victory Road. We opened up with Violent by Design, Diener and Rhino, along with Joe Dorian and Eric Young taking on Decay, Crazy Steve, and Black Taurus. Now, this is an interesting match because we know that Crazy Steve was once the protege of Eric Young, and now he looks at Diener as that one guy who is his guy. But however, in this particular match, there was a lot of misfires, mostly coming from Rhino. Now, I know that they tolerated with him because of his failure, but this time I don't know how they would tolerate with the mistakes that took place with the failure of their matches. It was Crazy Steve who won the victory, but however, the blame goes to Rhino, and he got himself beat up by Diener in the post match for his insolence. But the real question is Rhino out of Violent by Design? I don't know. Now, once again, we're back in the Swingers Palace. As you know, October, we're heading to Las Vegas, Nevada for that. Swinger doesn't like that. And he doesn't seem to know who is running Impact Wrestling. He doesn't think D'Amore is that guy. He thinks there's other people. But however, on side to that, we have TJP, who in fact, in the other hand, excuse me for a second. TJP, in fact, who was still upset after what happened. As you know, TJP won his bet when the match between Macklin and Petey Williams that it was going to fall into favor. But Petey Williams set up a match against him for later on today. So That's going to be interesting. Oh, excuse me. Now, this interesting interview it came out. We have Team Christian, consistent of Christian Cage, Chris Sabin, Josh Alexander, Sammy Callan, and Eddie Edwards. Now, the real question remains: can they trust each other? Now, however, Christian said, "I picked them because this isn't about me. This is about something bigger. This is about TN, about Impact Wrestling, what it is now." And I think they all can get on the same page. But as soon as it's over, things could be back to normal. But mostly from Josh Alexander and Chris Sabin. Now, the match between TJP and Petey Williams, once again, is the same old result coming out. But however, it was Petey Williams that pulled up an upset. I don't know if he won a bet, but at the same time, the victory party was cut short with the arrival of Steve Macklin, who decided to annihilate both men. It's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Now, the Good Brothers, they have no intentions of putting their Impact World Tag Team titles on the line. They are happy they got rid of Swan and Willie Mack, but unknowingly, Willie Mack came back with a vengeance and whacked them with the crutches. But the more likes what he saw, so he gave them an opportunity. They'll be going for the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team titles at Victory Road, which is going to be good. Now, if you guys remember John Skyler is the guy who defeated Matt Cardona, all thanks to Rohit Raju, even though he doesn't believe that happened, but it did. He recently lost in a match against Laredo Kid, so he demanded another match against him. But this time, he tried every trick in the book, but however, he got away by using Laredo Kid's mask to blind him and allowing him to win the match. Now, do I think Laredo Kid could get his payback against him? Possibly. But we'll see where they're going to go with it, with John Skyler. Now, it's once again with It's All About Me. Yeah, Tennille Dashwood, along with Caleb with the K, with their special guest, Madison Rain. Now, you know how they are, it's all about them. But of course, they received a surprise visit from Time to Get Wild. Yes, Taylor Wilde, Rachel Ellering, and Jordan Grace. Now, the idea what's going on is Taylor Wilde issued a challenge to the Dashwood at Victory Road, one-on-one. So this is going to be one heck of a match that we definitely cannot miss. Excuse me. Now, as you know, Rohit Raju is a despicable person that he will not apologize for what happened to Chelsea Green. The more he is adamant, he cannot believe what's going on, but Cardona wants a piece of him. So he gave him a match against him at Victory Road, a no disqualification match. Now, this is going to be huge for him. So that's pretty much if this is going to be like the final battle until one of them squashes it, what happened. Now, our next match we have is Matthew Renrold, the Drama King, taking on Trey Miguel. Now, the reason this match was set and the story wise has been built up, Matthew Renrold believes that Trey Miguel had no business whatsoever getting himself involved with Melina. But now he wants to teach him a lesson. I have to say, it was impressive the way that Drama King was able to counter every move that Trey Miguel was going to do. But however, Trey Miguel did not give up, he did not give in, but he somehow pulled a fast one on Renwald, winning the match. But however, in the post-match, Daniel Perazo wanted to teach him a lesson that he should not have minded his own business, but out of the blue, Hardcore Country, she made her appearances, and that became one of the most spectacular moments. So we could see those two face off. So this now become a personal. Excuse me. Now, if you call what happened last week, Tasha Steele is a former two-time Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Champion. She's now demanding a shot of those tag team titles since she stole them last week from the K's, Rosemary, and Havoc. So the real question is, are they going to accept the challenge or what? But this is something that Tasha Steelz knows she's very proud of with these titles. Now, it's also been revealed on Victory Road, Finjuice will be facing against Bullet Club, consistent of Chris Bay, the Finesse, and Hakuleo. This is one of those matches where we definitely got to see. Even Chris Bay sent a clear message to both Finjuice about what they're going to do. And this could be one of the beginning. Could we see now Bullet Club reaching new heights in Impact? Well, we'll see what happens then. Now let's get to our main event, which is our 10-man tag team match. Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, Moose, W. Morrissey, and Brian Myers taking on Josh Alexander, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan, and of course Christian Cage. This match was so crazy in every possible spot. I think the craziest spot is when what's his name? Chris Sabin? No, Eddie Edwards had Ace Austin, and he lifted him up and he landed on top of everyone. However, the ending was very interesting. Josh Alexander tagged himself in without Christian even noticing it. Now, I was surprised that Christian Cage didn't question him, but a win's a win. So that is a pretty good moment. However, how this is we're gonna see what's gonna happen this coming Saturday at Victory Hall, because I'm kind of excited how this event is gonna be taking place. So right now, let's move on with Horror Slam versus GCW. Okay, so this is one of those versus types events between a promotion I never heard of called Horror Slam, based out of Detroit, taking on against GCW. So I will keep in mind, so some of you, I may or may not recognize many of these wrestlers. Now, if you do, then you guys will probably in for a treat. Now, the opening match, we have AJ Gray taking on Jason Hotch, who I seen on multiple occasions. It was a good match. Now, I don't know if this is one of those matches where it's a GCW, which is AJ Gray, and Jason Hodge in Horror Slam. I don't know. Maybe it was. But it was an impressive victory by Jason Hodge. I did not expect him to win, because if you guys are GCW fans from that very area, you would know for a fact that AJ Gray would win. But no, it didn't went that way. But Jason Hodge did win fair and square. The next match is a fatal four-way match. We have Solo, Rick Cardine, Kyler Coleman, and Sam Beal. This is one of those matches where anything could took place. I was like, not too much pump on this one, but I can tell you who won on this one. Sam Beal won it by taking advantage of the win. The next match we have is Gregory Irons of 440, which is the one team we despise, taking on Josh Raymond. Now, this match ended in a very unusual way. As you know, there was a miss by Josh Holland where he wasn't catch when he did a tope suicida. He might have hit his head very hard. Now, to me, if I knew something like this would happen, I would go checked out, because I don't want to wake up dead the following day. But as you know, Gregory Irons won this match, took advantage of it, and it was already over from there. Now, this next match is for a vacancy of a title, the Horror Slam Undeniable title, in a six-way scramble match. We got Kyle Barrett being accompanied by John E. Bravo, Atlas Hightower, Satu Jin, Justin Dream, Sean Lawhorn, and Ace Austin. Now, majority of the time, Kyle Barnett was playing smart, staying out of the action majority of the time, but when it was time right, he took advantage and won the title. So that's something that he learned from Johnny E. Bravo. So that's the way I see it with him. Now, the next match, it's winner take all. The GCW Tag Team titles on the line, and also the Horror Slam Tag Team titles on the line too. We have, of course, the GCW champions, Second Gear Crew, Mance Warner and Matthew Justice, taking on the Death Army, Death Threat Army, Jack Price, Aaron Ortiz. They are they were the current title holders for these, and they had OVE, Jake Chris, Madman Fulton, and of course Nate Bok, Oboka, and Rhino. It was a pretty insane match. They had all the toys they could use, to win the match. I have to say it was pretty good. Now, do I think it was the second gear crew that quit? I don't know because it could have been the champions for Horror Slam, but this time it became second gear crew, which is good. Now they are double champions. It was them who picked up the victory for their team. Now, our next match is for the Horror Slam Heavyweight Championship. We have Tony Deppen taking on Trey Miguel. This match was okay, but however, Tony Deppen couldn't even put Trey Miguel away one way or the other. But somehow, Trey Miguel was able to overcome by putting Deppen in the leg lock, forcing him to tap out, which is really good on his part. Next match is a hardcore match. We have Hollywood Ocho and Swapman Brodus. I thought this match was very interesting in many ways. The reason I say that is because I did not expect it to be a whole lot. The reason for this was A, I would have assumed that, what was it? How to put this? That I did not expect a whole lot because I don't know these guys, but it was a fun match. And Swampman Brodus, he wrestled with no shoes, and I don't know. I just don't like to watch men in bare feet because I don't want to hurt myself, if you know what I mean, or get stepped on. The next match is a Detroit Death match. We got Brewer Willington taking on Jamie Lloyd. Now, the match was okay, it was bleeding up, but all of a sudden, we got a freaky ass Ronald McDonald showed up and hit Willington with the the tube lights. But of course, um, that it's not like that. But however, the following match, Jimmy Lloyd gets his hands on the freaky Ron McDonald's. It's so crazy. Even both men bled. They used all of it. It was a Detroit Death match in this particular one, and it kind of played out insanely. I did not expect that it was going to be that interesting, but someone was able to put Ron McDonald out of his misery and hopefully just keep him there. Our next match is a is a six-man tag team match. We have Boosie, consisting of Ali Catch and Effie, but later they're being joined up by their opposing team, um, Alex Weir, Jody Threat, and Malcolm Monroe. However, Effie believes it was unfair that there was only two of them and there's three of them. But however, he is part of the MDK, and you all know who that be. That is Nick Gage. He showed up, joining Boosie to kick some ass, and that's exactly what he did. However, Nick Gage got his hands on the opposing team's manager, and he made him bleed completely. He did chase them, but it was far from over between those two guys, and it was a good um, way how this is gonna play out. What else? Oh yeah, but if you guys want to know, it was Nick Gage who chokeslammed Weir, and he won the match. Now our next match is a number one contendership. Is for the Horror Slam Deathmatch title. Jeff King versus Chuck Steen. I thought it was a pretty interesting match, especially with these guys, Jeff King and what's his name, and Chuck Steen. Chuck Steen seems like a very interesting punker, the way he is. I don't know if he knows Ruby Soho, but it turned out great, allowing for, you know, for Chuck Stone to get a shot of the Slam Deathmatch title. However, now we got the main event for that particular title. We have what's his name? Eric Ryan of 440, the Duke, John Wayne Murdoch, and of course, what's his name? Oh yeah, Tommy Vendetta. It was a pretty good, interesting match. Now it was anything goes. I was kind of rooting for John Wayne Murdoch because he's a very interesting wrestler that I've been following these past couple of months. Ever since I've been watching ICW No Holds Barred, I thought it was a fun, interesting match, but I knew right from the start that John Wayne Murdoch was going to win this one. I had that feeling, but it is what it is. I enjoyed every moment of it. I never heard of Horror but hopefully I get to see more of them down the line because I definitely would love to see what other things they can do in this particular promotion. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I want to apologize that I did say that I was going to put Ice Ribbon in this episode, but I did not. My time was not impeccable because of my other commitments. I play drums, if you guys want to know that, but we'll make that up at another time. However, I got a lot of things to reorganize, schedule every plan for this coming Saturday. There's gonna be a lot of wrestling coming up for that particular day, and I'm very excited for that. And also to let you guys know what's going to be coming up for the following episode, we have AEW Rampage, 205 Live, and also we got the latest GCW event, Highest in the Moon, which was going to feature Minoru Suzuki versus Jonathan Gresham, but also decided to throw in an event by Pro Wrestling Noah, Cage Wars. Now, if I'm unable to watch that, then I apologize for that in advance. But we'll see where that's gonna lead us. So I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang!